welcome back to the next episode. If you are familiar with this series, you definitely know this tunnel's brand new. And that's because in the last episode, we finally got access to brass because we went to the nether, getting a few blaze burners for our use, which allowed me to build this contraption. And this is the first time I had a proper minecart contraption. This is fast, which is fantastic. Of course, I'm going to have to modify this a little bit for when we go to the next layer. Hey, come on. Come here. But I've been clearing out the start of the harbor. So once I clear out this entire area, we'll have a nice flat area to work with to basically build our starting factories to completely transform this place. Now then, since we're on the topic of that, we do need to figure out how to get all this done, because these are a lot of blocks, which means I'm going to need a much larger drill. So I'm going to have to quickly craft up a bunch of drills and stick them onto the machine, because otherwise this thing is not going to be done quickly, even with how fast minecart contraptions are. So I'll see you after I've crafted a ton of drills. Hopefully I have the materials. If not, this is going to be a lot of mining. Okay, so I crafted up a bunch of drills. There's already 12 on here, I believe. 4, 4, 4, 8, 12. Yep, 12. Got 38 here, so that should make it a grand total of 50 drills. So you know what that means? Mega drill, mega drill, mega drill. So we'll just, let's see. 50 divides evenly into 2, so I should be able to make a 25 by 25 drill. That 25 by 25 drill will allow me to basically clear out large areas much taller, but also with that 25 by 25 drill, dig underground much more efficiently. By the way, if you notice something looks a little funky down here, I did a test run with it before making or starting recording this video, and I was not ready for how fast this thing is. So let's just make this a bit faster and glue it together. I just realized my math was heavily wrong. To have a 25 by 25 drill, I would need at least, brain is not functioning, math, one sec, what's math? 625 drills. That 625 drills is definitely outside my go, but I could do an 8x8, or I could just make a really tall 4-5 wide. How many tall are you? Let's see, 3, 3, 3, 1. 10 tall? I think this is 10 tall. Yeah, my brain ain't doing math today. Tonight? Yeah. For whenever time it is for you guys, I guess. But because I have it like this now, I can dig a much larger area. Oop. Oh! What in the world? It has a tendency to break after being freshly placed down, so I need to quickly fix this and start digging. Let's try this again. And whoop. Okay, now that seems to be working much better. It glitches out when I freshly place it down as a new contraption, especially after modifying, which is an interesting thing. So, I guess we'll time-lapse this. Welcome back from the time lapse. As you can see, I've cleared out all of this area. Yeah. I have pillagers again. I even cleaned up the little bits left behind that the tunnel board does when it reaches the end. So, this gives me room to start building a factory. First couple of things I plan to do with this factory is, well, A, build it, and start producing a load of iron. Now then, to actually get that done, I'm also going to need a bit of power, and I don't feel like being stuck to wind or water wheels. We're talking about steam power. Good old hot water being turned to steam, and, well, shoved in a piston to move things in a circular motion from a linear pattern back and forth. So, we need to gather a bunch of supplies, and I'm not sure what it will look like yet, but I hope it will be neat. Although we might not be able to get everything done in today's episode. So we're going to build machines and then try to build a factory around it and see how well it works. So I'm going to convert a bunch of copper into, well, machinery and get to that. So see you once I get the stuff. Okay, since the last clip, I've done a few things other than just gathering the supplies, mostly because I forgot to click record, but I have sorted out my, well, abundance of copper. I went searching for copper and I got copper instead of gold. Although I did get a little bit of gold and a lot of diamonds using the tunnel bore underground because I needed a bit more iron. Of course, I went too far down, so I went back up later and I got enough iron for a little bit of use. But because I forgot to click record, I forgot to show me building the steam engines and digging the massive hole. Which, if you can guess by that fluid, what's the word? The hose pulley. I plan to pump lava from the nether into the overworld so I can have an infinite supply for any factories and such. But because I also have gotten a lot of diamonds, I decided to go ahead and craft a bunch of diamond armor. You just can't see it because I'm using the cosmetic armor mod, which allows me to hide it. Which is really nice because I actually really like my skin in its full steampunk glory. So, we're going to need to figure out how to pump it all over, preferably without dying, and, well, actually get to making an iron farm because I don't know why I keep putting it off. It is such a simple thing to build, and yet here I am. 2 level 9 steam engines that have no fuel and a small one that's passive. Whoop. That all it does is pump water. This is literally the entire point. It's a pumping engine. So now I have a lot of stress units that aren't available because these ain't fueled. I also have the liquid burners mod installed, so I don't have to worry about try to pump lava over to a spout, filling buckets with lava and using mechanical arms. I can just link right up into the blaze burners and fill them right up. So let's get the lava transferred over without dying, preferably. So I think the best way to go about this might be a contraption and a bunch of tanks. Because if I recall, it is much easier to just transfer things over than just trying to get it through the portal. And ironically, that portal was right over there. You can tell by that cobblestone from the blaze burners. The blaze spawner. It still links to the same spot in the nether that I came out of last episode. So we're going to fill this up, have infinite lava, add a lot of power and the ability to make a lot more power if we ever require it. With only 2 level 9s though, I suspect I might need to build a few more steam engines. So, let's get to filling this up with lava. This will be a bit. Well, judging by the sound of bubbling pops, we have an infinite pool of lava now. I've already disassembled the machine that I used to transfer lava from the nether, but now we have an infinite source here, and we don't have to worry about throwing buckets through the portal. So, that means I can reassemble this, and I've actually used a toolbox to just let me reassemble this. So, oop, that's so much water. Okay, got that fixed. Now to get more of these. And now we have 2 steam engines up and running and a bunch of extra fluid tanks. So let me just put that all back. And now we gotta run piping to the blaze burners. And I need more pipes because I'm fairly sure I only have the one. So let me craft up a bunch of pipes and get this rolling so we can finally have, well, not unlimited power, but a lot more than what, just a bit, well, just a bit over 4,000 stress units. So let me make a bunch of pipes and, well, pipe it back up. Okay, so I crafted up a bunch. I started placing them down. I forgot to press record when I went to start putting them down, but as you can see, because of how, if you look on the top of the screen, you can see it's labeled blaze burner and it's labeled empty 1B. That means it can contain 1 bucket of fluid, lava more specifically in this case, or any other burnable liquids that other mods might add that would work in this case, which will allow me to, well, let me just get some pumps. See, if I recall, these can push at least 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so I'll place this here, flip it around with my wrench. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now I need to get myself down there a little. Ah. Let's see, can I? Yeah, I can. That's not quite where I wanted it. Okay. Okay. Oh, no, 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 no. Ah. Come on. Oy. Okay. Let's try that again without nearly burning to death. All right. That. Okay. I want this one. Wait, why am I trying to? I can just use a hose pulley. Just. Lower it on down. Okay. Now, once I start pumping, I'll just stick another one in just in case. Get it facing the right way. Hook it all together. And realize I need more bits and bobs. All right. Okay. We have big cogs. 1 second. Okay, so I got it set up mostly. All I have to do is place in one shaft and it'll start pumping. It's actually hooked up into my pumping engine back here. So I won't have any did not mean to shake the mouse so hard. I will not have any parasitic loss for these. As this is a separate system. So in it goes. It starts pumping. You can see the lava. They start lighting up. The gauges go up. The second engine's activating. And this one's... I need more water. Okay, so I figured it out. It's now technically 3 different sets of pipes. You have the first pipe, which is run by 2 pumps on a water wheel, which is pumped into this little passive steam engine, which then is geared up a ton to run these 2 pumps, which each individually, I'm not sure how fast they're actually going, but they overflow the boiler by a little bit, getting me 2 level 9 steam engines at a fairly good pace. So, I guess we're not going to be able to get to the iron farm today for today's episode. So I guess that'll be left to next episode. And, oh, I almost forgot about hooking this up. Let's just grab a... Do I seriously not have any small ones at the moment? I could make another. And another. Gotta make sure these are powered. Okay, different spot then. You. Okay, got it figured out. So, now that there is going to be a little bit of loss, but now we have proper amounts of water. Why do we have a zombified piglin? Right, they spawn from portals at random, right? But with this entire system, I can technically kickstart this from 0 after detaching it from all the factory end, and we have an unlimited or bottomless supply of lava. So we can never run out of fuel for our little power plant here. So we'll start getting around to proper factories and such in the next episode. And the scale of this will definitely need to take more time. So my upload schedule is going to be changing from me trying to aim for every week to maybe 2 episodes every month. If that, depending on how things go. So, because I don't have too much time to really work on these videos. So, I'm going to give myself a little extra time to try to get the quality up, as well as to give myself time to build the larger projects I want to actually work on. Because this was only possible because I was able to automate it using the create mod, using drills. But to get to the decorative style of building I want to do, I'm going to need a lot of resources to begin. Eventually, I hope I can go back to posting weekly because I'll have majority of the building materials I want to use automated in some form, so I don't have to go out collecting, because collecting takes so much time. So, I have hoped you enjoy the video, and why don't you leave a like and subscribe? It'll help more people find this series and help me grow as a creator. And, well, I can't jump from my bridge, so I guess this will do. Goodbye.